All right, Tallahassee area, Big Bend area, and Panama City Beach area football fans. It is time for the I don't know what we need to call this. We need a different name, but it's the Four Quarters Online Scoreboard Show. We got some scores coming from around the area, Coach. We're not going to waste any time. We need to go ahead and get into it right away. Um, Coach, we had a chance to see some great games. From what I saw, man, Lincoln looked they looked really legit. Man, Rickards, a great comeback. Gabi was up by what, 3 touchdowns, and the Raiders came
Yeah.
back.
Yep. Yep. That was I guess that's a devastating blow to the Cougars. When you got a big lead, you expect to win, but sometimes when big mo changes, you kind of like go along with it and feel like you can't control it.
Yeah, um there's just a lot of there's so much that goes into a game. I think in terms of game planning, that first game, there's a lot of just figuring things out. There's a lot of figuring out, what kind of scheme can we run, can we get away with, how's our defense looking? Did we learn from the mistakes from the preseason game? And God became on fire on all cylinders. And I think one of the things that really bit them last season was not finishing games, and this one just, man, the fourth quarter monster just jumped up again. And the Raiders, man, the one thing I will say about this offense is very explosive.
Yeah, Mark. It seems like this from exactly just like last year. Uh, Gabi led pretty much the whole game, and then Rickards came back at the end and won it. And it's just things. It seems like the same old songs again. Cougars had a great start. I mean, it was dominating the game. Then all of a sudden, boom, Rickards make that run, and there's nothing they could do about it, and lost it at the end.
Yeah, one of the things I think that really makes a difference is just the fact that you have a group of kids that are looking to be opportunistic, and the Raiders played so much on fire, especially down the stretch. They were looking for different ways where they could create a turnover, a mixed match here or there, get the ball back in your playmakers' hands, and it just seemed to work out.
Yeah, that's Mark. That battle's been going on for decades. Gabi Rickards. I had a chance to participate in a couple of those. It's down to the end. It's nobody quitting, nobody giving up, and may the best man win. And once again, the Raiders came out on top. We talked about this game beforehand, and looked like the Raiders did it again.
Yeah, one of the things that I particularly tried to take note about was just how many playmakers that the Raiders have, and it definitely looked like there was so much going on down the stretch where Godby just was in control. And one of the things about Cougars, especially on the defensive side, they're going to really have to figure out ways to get guys just settle down, just calm down. As the game's not out of reach, not out of hand, you just want to be able to play focus down the stretch, because that's where you really, to me, that's where you put away teams. You put away teams late in the third quarter. If you want to be able to win and win comfortably, you got to make sure that you secure, not just all four phases of the game or all four quarters, but you want to make sure you put teams down in the third quarter. And Gabi just let their foot off the gas just for a little bit. And maybe some of that's just the growing pains. There's a lot of new guys over there, but they got a little bit too comfortable. And great opening season win for the Raiders. They look like they're in mid-season form already. I think between the output in the preseason game and what they were able to do tonight, this is a team I think that's already 90 plus points so far over the past 2 weeks.
Wow, that's a lot of daggone points, man. Your offense is clicking, your defense is playing well. Because I think some of the mistakes that Gabi made was forced by Rick's defense. I just got off the phone with somebody that was at the game, and they talked about it, and they felt, they're a Cougar fan, and as how you Cougar fans are, you felt
Yeah,
like
we are. We
you
are.
felt like you should have won, but the game it lasts 48 minutes, and you got to play the whole game. You can't just lead for a small portion of it and expect to win. You got to finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on around the area, McClay, a big win over Jefferson County. Man, we had our eyes on this one, and if you didn't get a chance to watch it, please head on over to Four Quarters Online. You can catch a recap of that game. Man, Coach Bright and the Tigers, man, they really looked tough in the beginning, and then McClay just wore them down. Very physical ball game. McClay kept it on the ground quite a bit. There's still some flashes of last year's kind of essence a little bit, some big playability going on over there, but a big 31-6 win for the Marauders to open up the 2025 slate. Jefferson County, again, has some bright spots there. I do think that Coach Bright has got the Tigers in good position. I saw some things this season that I did not see last year. For the most part, I think in the first quarter, they looked very I would say they looked very disciplined at a certain point during the first quarter. I think they're still trying to put it together, but the future looks bright over there in Monticello.
Yeah, I wish them good luck. They had a tough start. You're talking about a veteran team in McClay coming in. A lot of guys, they just hadn't got it together. New coaching staff. You know, I think they're going to get better and better as the season goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's keep it rolling with some other scores around the area. Florida High, a big
Wow.
winner over Denellen. They were able to, I believe they avenged last season's loss on the road, but a big win at the Shack by 3 points, 17-14 over the Tigers. And that's pretty much what we come to expect from Coach Hickman's group. They're not used to starting the season 0-2 like they did last year. So this is a great way to kind of kick off 2025 for the Seminoles.
Yeah, my hat's off to those guys over there. They do a great job preparing their kids. And when the game time comes, they make great adjustments. I think they were behind in this game and came back to win it. So, great job tonight. Local team won. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for the Seminoles, Tegan Hackett was very interested in seeing this young man after we had a chance to see him up close and personal last season. Looks like he's returning to form. Definitely one of their key playmakers over there in the Seminole defense. That's what they've been known for the past few seasons. They really came up big tonight, holding off Denellen. Let's go over to the north side of town. Trojan Magic once again outlasting Niceville. And this one was at Childs High School, but the Trojans big win over Niceville 36-29. And that's again great teams that have done their work in the offseason and are starting out strong. Lincoln, no different. We'll have some stats broken down for everybody on the extra point on Wednesday. Please don't miss that one. But a big win for the Trojans tonight as they start off the season with a bang.
Yeah, what I saw last week, this team, we could see them in the championship game. They got a lot of parts. They got great talent all the way around. They got great quarterback in Taylor Jacobs. They got receivers all over the place. I mean, and the defense is solid. So, hey, Trojans starting off. Niceville is one of those schools you gotta beat during the regular season. It's a measuring stick for the program.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I do recognize about Lincoln, the poise of Taylor Jacobs Jr. in the pocket. He has great presence. He does all the little things right. And one of the things that we were very, very interested in seeing, especially after that big win against of the preseason win against Carroll City last Saturday, showed a lot, and I think they carried that over. And this was a style that, make no mistake, even though Niceville has a new coach this year, one of the things that I really try to pay attention to is just the fact that there just has to be some kind of synergy with the team in order to be able to create that kind of, I would say that deep playoff run that we're expecting them to make. One of the things about that I can see just watching Lincoln over the years, this team is very scarily similar to the 2011 squad, the 2012 squad, somewhere in there, and they look a lot like the 2006 squad. Very good on defense, not too fancy or too flashy on offense, but they find a way to get the job done.
Yeah, it's Coach Jackson's first game over there as a head coach. Congratulations. You look like the Trojans hadn't missed a beat, and they are a scary team to watch.
Yeah, so congrats to the Lincoln Trojans on a big win over Niceville. That's pretty much what you want to see out of your week number one um, matchup. You definitely want to be able to make sure that there's, you're just starting off with a bang. You really want to be able to make sure that you have certain key components in place. And I would just say for these Trojans, they look like they're in midseason form as well.
Yeah, fortunately, we got a chance to see them last week, and you you could tell that they can do a lot of things. They got a great offensive setup, and the defense. Uh, they're solid all the way around. Didn't see any weaknesses, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do the rest of the season.
All right, let's roll through some other scores. Abbeville, uh, 44 over FAMU, 44-6 over the Baby Rattlers. And FAMU High still waiting on that critical first home win. I think it's been more than a year and a half since the Baby Rattlers been able to snag that victory at home in the confines of Bragg Stadium. So the drought continues, and hopefully they'll be able to right that ship. Chipley, a big winner over NFC, 20-7. Handling business against the Eagles and the Tigers. We talked about this on the extra point, how just Chipley they still have a lot of playmakers coming in from last season, and this could be a dangerous team in a 1A, in a rural classification going down the stretch. Bluntstown, man, no, I mean, I pretty much the game was over when they had the coin toss. This one, it was a big win for the Tigers, 56-3 over Liberty County. And again, another team that's going to be a threat in the rural classification. Bluntstown has it. They really, with the pickup of probably one of the best running backs in the country. Over there, and then the addition of Sion Smith. Man, this team is going to be very, very dangerous going down the stretch, and that's for anybody in any classification playing Bluntstown. This team is going to be absolutely dangerous. And Coach Wagner, we talked to him in the offseason. He's very excited about the group of kids he has. This is going to be a good litmus test for them. But I do think that for Bluntstown, this is one of those teams I'm going to keep an eye on. I'm going to keep my eyes on for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, man, it's probably the most exciting time over in Bluntstown with all those weapons. The team, I mean, being in the rural division is not easy because you got those Cowboys over there looking at you. And we hadn't got it. I talked to Taylor County coach, and he's expecting big things, and they're in the rural. Man, that's going to be one of the more exciting divisions in high school football in the state of Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bluntstown, a big winner over Liberty. Let's roll through some other scores. Baker, a big winner over Vernon, 50-0. Lafayette, a big winner over Dixie County. Dixie County had that big playoff run in the alternate rural division last season. But man, Lafayette really, and for me, one thing about the Hornets, they were close last year. They just didn't get a couple of things to bounce their way. But man, they handled what was a loss last season to Dixie County with a vengeance. They just came out swinging. And I know for the Hornets and the Hornet faithful, they're definitely looking forward to being kind of flipping positions where they were last year into being a contender for a state championship. So this is how you want to start, is taking care of the teams that took care of business against you last season. Taylor County, a big winner over Fort White. This one was last season. This one was a super close game that came down to an overtime win. But man, Taylor County, man, they weren't playing around this time. They took care of business against Fort White with a big win over the Indians, 20-3. And for Coach Braswell, this is what we want to see in year number 2, as a team coming together.
Yeah, got a chance to talk to him early in the summer. He was really excited about these guys. He thought he had one of his best teams, and he was looking forward to make some noise in the rural division. So he right next door to those Cowboys, and so it's going to be tough.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Dothan, a big winner over Childs, 42-6. Timberwolves not able to get any wins in Alabama so far, second season in a row. Childs still looking for that first win on the year as they fall to Dothan, 42-6. Freeport, a big winner over North Bay Haven, 48-13. And Freeport is going to look out now. Freeport is going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah, they got a couple of D1 commits on that team. Tall receiver, I can't remember his name at this moment, but they got some players on that team, and that's a tough team to play. And if you step it into their area, you're gonna have a tough time getting out of that with a victory.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's roll through the rest of these scores here. Franklin County and our good friend Coach Cooper down on the coast, a big winner over Central, 31-0. Walton handles business against Mariana, 33-6. Sneed's a big winner over Cottondale, 33-28. D-Land Best Madison, 21-20. How about that?
Man, you're not used to seeing them on the short end of a game there, but it came down to the wire. It was like 21, I think, to 14 at one time, and it was 14 nothing also at one time. Madison came fighting back, just couldn't get it over the hump.
Yeah, see, Madison and Madison's playing what? The D-Land is what, a 7A school?
I think so. I'm not sure about the classification, but they're a bigger school than Madison.
Then let's rewind to Thursday. Leon falls to Wakulla, 20-37, and Bay a big winner over Arnold. Man, that one. I think I knew Bay. I definitely was going to come out swinging. I did not know that it was going to be to that degree. Man, they absolutely demolished the Marlins 42-6, and man, all that talent that Coach Brown was having when these kids were freshmen and 10th graders. These kids are seniors now, and it looks like they've got the experience to go along with it.
Yeah, man, we're looking forward to seeing how the season progressed for them. They wasn't things didn't go too well last year for this program, and Coach Brown is one of the better coaches in the state, and he's going to get those guys going. It's exciting. They have exciting football in Panama City, and we'll be checking in on them through the season.
Absolutely, I'm going to be. I'm really actually looking forward to seeing just the resurgence of Panama City football. I think that between Mosley having a great season that they had, and then taking on Bay later on in the season, I think that's going to be a great matchup. And then there's just kind of something going on where I do feel like the more teams coming out of that specific area that are good, man, the better quality of football we're going to see. And then some other scores from around the area. Let me go ahead and. So we got Graceville falling to Weewa Hitchcock. That one's not final yet. South Walton was leading Gulf Breeze. That also was not final just yet when we got the score. And then Gaston County will take on Tiff County tomorrow. That one was postponed. And, Coach, one of the things that, especially with the Jaguars, I don't know if did you get any information about the hearing?
Oh, Coach Eddington's appeal was denied.
Oh man.
So he won't, and I don't know what anything else they worked on, but they denied the appeal. I think you know my opinion on that. He's one of the great young coaches in this area. I hate this have to happen to him.
So
solid guy. And the program was going to be one of the best, and still could be one of the best programs in the state of Florida. And Coach Eddington had it going on.
Yeah, he did. But man, tough going for the Jags. You hate to kind of have everything kind of fall apart, especially right at the beginning of the season. It's almost one of those where you wish you would have known sometime back in spring or something like that. But Jaguars will have to try to manage for the remainder of the season without their head man patrolling the sidelines. Program's still in good shape, like you said, Coach Cofield, but that game against Tiff County is postponed until Saturday, and that will do it.
All right, we got one. I think I didn't get one score, and it was Mosley against Rutherford. Okay. That score, as last check was in the fourth quarter, was 64-15 Mosley.
Ooh, Dolphins picking up right where they left off. and I believe we had another one. We had Holmes County
It was
uh,
no
came in late.
final. I didn't have a final. Did you get a final on that?
No, I do not have a final, but Holmes County was leading Bozeman 8 to
Uh,
6
yeah,
in the
that was a
fourth.
tight one there.
So, but yeah, once again, we'll have all final scores tomorrow. We'll post that up, get that posted. But for the most part, man, it's man opening week number one for 2025 season kicks off with a bang. Uh, man, we're kind of you kind of can't you don't really want to speculate too much, but man, the teams that really impressed me the most, aside from what we saw tonight, but man, look at Bay, look at Lincoln. Those are two teams. That's how you want to open up the season, and we'll see. The first 2 or 3 weeks is always teams putting things together. But man, this is a great opening week of football that we have wrapped up. So that'll do it for the scoreboard show, and we'll catch everybody next Friday. But in the meantime, be sure to check us out on Wednesday nights for the Extra Point podcast, where we get a chance to talk all about football here in North Florida I-10 corridor.
Mark, I got one little statement before we leave. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. Go Raiders.
Well, that'll do it. We'll catch everybody again next Friday night. But in the meantime, in between time, catch the Extra Point on Wednesday nights.